Hello everyone and welcome. Today I am feeling spring and I am going to paint this 5.5-inch tea light candle holder. I'm going to give it 2 coats of black paint and I'm going to use this stencil from Happy Dotting Company to give me the guidelines that I need. I will be leaving everything you need for this project down in the description, so let's just follow along and have some fun. I have picked out a whole bunch of pastel colors and I am ready to draw some simple design. No idea what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to think of something that will go in these guidelines, easy to follow along and very beginner. So let's doodle. Okay, this looks really fun and really spring, and there's lots of room to grow. When we get to the outside of our doodles here, we can add more or change our mind completely. But now I want to prevent all of these pastel colors from cracking just in case. In the past, sometimes they dry a little too fast and they crack. So I'll be adding 9 drops of slow dry fluid additive to each well in my paint palette. I fill those up pretty well with the paint. You can see the level there, and I add 9 drops to each. I stir it slowly just to make sure I don't get a whole lot of bubbles. And that so far has worked for me. I haven't had any of my light colors crack since I started using it. All right, you guys, I guess all that's left to do is let's get decorating. This is gonna be fun. Okay, let's get some practice in with that fine line brush. You guys, take your time and enjoy this. And I want you to remember something. If you mess up, this is your project. You don't necessarily have to clean up your mess ups. You can always just cover them up. When I'm doing this, you'll see sometimes when I finish, I might flick over into that yellow dot a little bit. That's okay. I've got a solution. And if you fix one, you just fix them all. So, have some fun. I've got your back. We're going to cover up all of our mistakes right now. All right, you guys, cleaning up those lines ended up being an excellent design choice. Do you see how that works out? I love it, and no one knows it wasn't meant to be but you. Now, check out what Desiree sent me in the mail. You wouldn't know it, but my birthday's in a couple of weeks, and it was like getting an early birthday present. Now, this thing has been on my Amazon wish list for a hot minute, and I just want to thank you, Desiree. This was a really fun one to get. I know it may seem silly if you look at it right now, but I have some really big plans for this. Do you guys remember that big wooden plate that I painted? I had so many white little, I call them micro dots, all over it. You guys, it may sound silly, but my shoulder got so tired of going back and forth to the paint palette. What happens is when I'm painting, as you can see right now, my wrist is laying on my desk, and I use my wrist as a pivot point. Now I'm going between the ring and the surface where I'm dotting, and it keeps me, that pivot point keeps me exactly where I need to be at all times. When you're going back and forth to your paint palette, anytime I have to lift my wrist up, it gets me off. I have to slow down, put my wrist back on the table, and do another couple of dots. And for a really big project, that gets really hard, and it can make it to where, well, I don't want a microdot anymore because it's just too much. So I'm really hoping this is the answer. We'll see how I feel about it after we're done with this rock. Let's do it. Thank you so much, Desiree. Okay, so my final opinion on the ring is that it has definitely earned a spot at my art desk. And y'all know I don't have very much room, so I really loved it. I'll say that the paint dries out in it pretty quickly. And when I got to the outer edges, I needed a whole lot more paint, so I was refilling it quite a bit. But the key thing here, my shoulder doesn't hurt. So this is a total win for me. I hope you guys like it too. It's very inexpensive and I think you'll enjoy it. Thank you so much, Desiree. This was really fun. It's cute, it's clever, and I loved it. Okay, you guys, let's see what this tea light candle holder looks like with all the resin. Here we go. Oh my gosh, what do you guys think of this? You guys, I'm gonna be completely honest here. I wasn't liking this rock, like at all, until I was completely finished. I stood up and I looked at it and I thought, wow, that is really cool. And I am gonna admit those black top dots at the very end really fixed it all for me. This is really quite gorgeous. Like, seriously might even be in my top 10 of favorites. I like it that much. And how my opinion changed so quickly. You guys, anyone can do this. It is going to take some time. It's a little tedious. I want to say it probably took me about 3 to 4 hours, which, you know, in this art isn't that bad. So I really hope you give it a try. Go ahead and hit that like button, you guys. Don't forget that. And subscribe if you haven't already. Check out channel memberships if you're able to, and watch this playlist right here. You guys, I'm going to see you next week. We're going to be doing my birthday stone. Until then, rock on.